In this video, we'll go through the process of submitting your abstract submission for ANPD Aspire Convention 2024. To start off, you'll want to make sure you're logged into your ANPD account. Once logged in, you can visit the abstract page on the website and click Start Submission. You can also access the abstract portal by logging into your ANPD account and then selecting My ANPD on the right-hand side. You'll then want to select Community on the top right, Competition, and then click View Open Competition. You should see the 2024 Annual Convention Call for Abstracts listed there. Once you're here, make sure to download the 2024 Call for Abstracts Guide. This guide will serve as a working document for you to compile your information necessary. We highly recommend that you enter your information in the 2024 Call for Abstract Guide first and copy and paste your information into the submission. Please note that your submission form is not saved if you navigate away from the page. You must complete the submission in its entirety in one session. Once you complete the abstract guide, you can go back to the competition on My ANPD and select Enter Now. For the name field, please enter your abstract submission title. Please do not enter your name here. Entering your name in this field will disqualify your submission. Your abstract title length should be 10 words or less. In the session description, enter a short and compelling description of your planned presentation. Describe what participants should expect by attending your session. This description will be used in promotional materials such as convention brochures and in the convention schedule descriptions if accepted. Please limit your abstract description length to 1 to 2 sentences. The level of intended audience is for the participants attending your session, if accepted. In your abstract submission, you will be prompted to indicate and provide rationale as to what level of NPD practitioner would benefit most from this presentation based on the descriptions found in the abstract submission guide. If expert level is indicated, you must describe the scope and standards of practice NPD specialist competencies that are addressed in your presentation to support your selection. Based on the NPD practice model, the abstract body is submitted in 3 elements: inputs, throughputs, and outputs. The abstract body elements combined are limited to 1,750 characters, including spaces, and may be divided unevenly as needed. Count your total characters in the abstract guide before submitting to avoid abstract rejection. Please do not enter any personal or organizational identifiers, such as your organization name or vendor name. Abstracts containing identifiers are disqualified and not eligible for selection. References should only be listed in the reference section and should not be cited within the abstract body. For a further description of the inputs, throughputs, and outputs competencies, please refer to the abstract submission guide and the abstract scoring rubric. The references section should be the only section in your abstract submission where references are listed. References listed in this section do not count towards the 1,750 character limit. At least 5 references must be listed in complete APA 7th edition format. References must be credible. References must be current and published within the last 5 years. Exceptions include referencing a seminal work. As a reminder, do not use in-text citations in the abstract body submission. Only list references in the reference section. Active engagement of learners is crucial to the success of your presentation. Learner engagement strategies must be congruent with your presentation format and the underlying educational needs you have identified. In this section, select all methods that will be used in your presentation. All presentations will have a Q&A, so listing as such is not necessary in this section. Please note that learner engagement methods are not teaching methods or teaching tools. Do not list presentation slides as a learner engagement method. In the learning outcomes field, you should enter the expected learning outcomes for convention participants of your presentation. Learning outcomes are written in measurable terms, are tied to the identified professional practice gap, and convey what the learner should know, show, and/or be able to do after your presentation. Learning outcomes are not a list of learning objectives. For an example of a learning outcome, please reference the abstract submission guide. In this field, enter how your presentation reflects, engages in, or supports cultural humility, social equity, inclusivity, allyship, and/or cultural practices, and demonstrates diversity, equity, and inclusion in NPD practice. You may enter how your presented work considers respectful communication, shared decision-making, addresses learner diversity, healthcare disparities, and the social determinants of health. You may also enter how your presented work addresses digital access disparities and engages in the recognition and elimination of microaggressions, biases, and social injustices. In this section, you will select the type of presentation you are submitting. For the next section, you will select the educational track that you are submitting for. If applicable, you can also select a subcategory that your presentation will be covering. Further descriptions of presentation types, educational tracks, and subcategories can be found in the abstract submission guide. In this section, you will select the environments for which the concepts of your presentation can be applied. Please note that this asks where your concepts potentially can be applied, not just where you apply them in your presented work. You can find examples of each environment in the abstract submission guide. In this section, you will indicate whether your presentation is clinical in nature. If your presentation refers to patient care or products used in patient care, then select yes to this question. If your presentation does not address patient care or products used in patient care, then select no. You can find an example of how a presentation would be clinical in nature in your abstract submission guide. In this section, you will describe your knowledge and subject matter expertise of your abstract submission content. Here is where you demonstrate your qualifications to present on this content. Please do not include your name or your employer's name. The following two questions will ask if you are willing to present your content as a poster if not selected as a pathway session or a rapid-fire session. The following three questions will ask about your presentation experience. For previous presentation of submitted content, please indicate whether the submitted content for the 2024 Aspire Convention has been presented through another national conference or publication. ANPD seeks innovative and original content submissions. Content of abstract and presentation should be new and not shared through prior presentations at other venues. For the following questions, you will list information for all your presenters. We require your name, credentials, email address, and employer. For the primary presenter, please provide a brief biography, no more than 3 sentences. You can submit up to 5 presenters. If you have more than 5 presenters, please email speakers@anpd.org for additional instruction. Once you complete all the abstract submission fields, you are able to officially submit your abstract. Abstract submissions will close on September 5th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time. Notification of acceptance or declination will be emailed to the primary presenter by October 2023.